The other thing that we did with some grants last year, we've done it 2 years in a row now with the Great Fish Community Challenge, is go for a vehicle. Our fleet, I think, is 65 vehicles, or more than 65 vehicles now. I do not envy Buck in keeping track of those vehicles and their tires and their oil changes and all the things that go into owning a car. But last year specifically, we aimed, was it last year or 2 years ago now? It was last year. My years are blending together.
Yes.
But we got Steve a van, a very specific type of van, because the previous one, what did you call it?
Big Red.
Big Red. No more Big Red.
No more Big Red.
So it's just this improvement. So Steve, what do you love about the new van? So welcome to our podcast. Today we have a ton of people on. So I'm going to quickly just let everyone introduce themselves and tell you kind of who they are. But our podcast is called Not Just a Thrift Store. Basically because we literally are not just a thrift store. We are disability services that happen to have thrift stores to help aid in funding. It's not the other way around. So I just love that name. I think it really exemplifies who we are and what we do. And I hope that that's starting to sink in for people as we continue using that name. If you have questions about it, please ask. So Alexandra, you guys have seen me a million times. Marketing.
I'm Crystal, and I'm a client service director, so I do oversight of some of our group home facilities and then also our Life Skills Center, which is one of our day programs.
And we've seen you on before.
Yes.
So hopefully that one's aired by this time.
I'm Steve.
You are Steve. That's it. This is Steve.
Yeah. This is Steve. And I'm Alicia. I'm the manager at the facility that Steve resides at.
So this is supposed to be a transparency moment for you guys to see behind the scenes of how does it work? What does a day look like for someone who's managing one of the facilities on the ground, helping everyone every day? What is it like from Steve's point of view? He can tell us some cool stories about his new van that he got last year. Thanks to the Great Fish Community Challenge, we raised enough money to buy him his own van that is super awesome. And then also hearing from Crystal, like from the point of view just above that, how she can help facilitate if there's a problem, there's something that's like, hey, this isn't working for us. How can we find a solution? That's where Crystal comes in. So that's the idea for today. We really want you guys to be able to see truly what we do at Flathead Industries, and this is a huge part of it. So the first thing I want to talk about is your guys' facility just got renovated, 3 months ago. It's still kind of in like finishing touches because that's how renovations go. It's how my kitchen looks right now.
Final stages.
It was the final stages for a few months. But with that, it was a whole revamp, right? So like detail that for me, Alicia. Like what changed?
So we used to have a very enclosed kitchen. It was very crowded for the amount of staff and consumers we have at the homes. So what they did was they removed what we had was the pantry, and they made the kitchen wider, put a little island in the middle so there's more walking space for all the gentlemen. There's more space for everybody. They put an island there for people to kind of sit and chit chat, socialize. They remodeled the game room. We have a lot of gamers at the house, and so they have their own individual space. We have shelving for their gaming systems, and then we used to have this really, it was a media shelf, but it was bowing and falling apart, and so now we have these fancy cupboards that you can open up, and each guy has their own shelf, and it's very organized and looks very neat, and that's just so far what they've done. They did all the flooring. That's all new flooring, and then they did repaint the whole entire house.
It's super fresh.
Yes,
it looks
super
really
fresh.
Bright and light in there.
Yes, because the green in the kitchen was god awful. I'm really glad they made that go away.
Yeah, it was something.
I had two, so
Yeah, so it's nice. It's nice. It looks cleaner. It looks fresher. We're still obviously doing some finishing touches. The next step, I think the guys have been asking is like, dining room tables, things like that.
Yes.
Just got upgraded furniture. Of course, the game room is still not completely finished, but it is almost there.
Yep.
And so the guys are really anxious to get back in there and play their gaming systems and stuff. So.
Yeah. So the island has like a breakfast bar.
Yes.
Is that what you mean? Like so everyone can sit up to it? That's awesome.
Yeah. So we got a couple chairs to sit there. That is where Steve likes to sit too.
It's the spot.
So the old island was lower to the ground, and it was uncomfortable. And Steve, you can definitely chime in if I am saying something that you should be saying, but we had an island that was lower to the ground, and Steve couldn't really reach.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a very tight space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we had to lower his foot box a lot,
Right.
and finagle him, and he had to eat sideways.
A bit of Tetris
Yeah,
just to eat breakfast.
It was a pain, and so we
Okay.
ended up having a little black camping chair or table, that he would sit at, which was away from the guys, but now he's able to eat with the guys and
Right.
kind of socialize more if he chooses. So
That's
it's
good.
pretty neat. I
Cool.
like it.
And then obviously, like, the sink was upgraded to be accessible. Microwave was changed, right?
Yes. And we have
In
two
the
ovens.
induction cooktop. All those, like, that's what we do to every facility when we renovate, just so there's a lot of accessibility. So I guess with that, like,
They actually added an extra sink too. So
Did
there's a sink in the island in addition to the regular kitchen sink because that site does have more needs
Yeah.
for the accessibility to the sinks
Right.
and the usage for supervision. So
Right.
that's awesome. I didn't
Yeah.
realize that.
Yep.
So what are the reasons? Like, we've talked about it. I've talked about it with Patrick on a couple podcasts, but like, I think it helps for people to hear, like, why do we have an induction cooktop? What does that mean? What does it mean to have like a roll up sink that is accessible? What does that mean on a day-to-day basis for somebody?
So essentially the ultimate goal with the upgrades and with providing the access that has occurred with the different things that have happened with the remodel, it's giving access to the individuals so that they can assist more in their home and gain additional skills so that they can partake in all of those activities. With the limitations the old kitchen had, some of the individuals weren't able to assist because they couldn't access or reach the cooktops, the countertops, the microwaves, things like that. So with those all now being in the accessible range, it opens the opportunity for them to be more involved in that process
Right.
and in their life.
And then the induction cooktop specifically turns off right away, right?
Yes.
So it's like immediately not hot, which
Yes.
is crazy to me. I don't understand at all.
And
Like
you have
science.
to have the pan on a certain, there's like a 4-way
specific,
cross thingy.
yeah.
And it's like a magnet that you have to have a specific kind of pan
Interesting.
on. And the minute that pan even moves just a little, it turns off.
That
Yeah.
is so cool.
Yeah.
And that is specifically to create those opportunities and to go up to the sink and get a glass of water on your own without having to ask. That was something that Patrick had included in his speech at last year's gala, and it made everyone like tear up. So it's
Yeah.
that moment of like, you can just walk over to a sink and get a glass of water. You don't think about how difficult that could be for someone who can't just do that.
Right.
Can't just easily do that. And so that's, all these renovations are extremely pricey. It takes us a lot of like me writing grants and working hard to do funding with the Great Fish and things like that to fund these upgrades. But every time we do it, it's like this huge change, this like massive life change. Steve, what's your favorite part about the new kitchen?
I'm able to get around a lot more stuff.
Yeah,
Able to put my own dishes away.
that's it. I mean, I would be happy for someone else to put my dishes away, to be totally honest, in my house. But
You're a pretty
that's a big
independent
one.
guy though, huh?
Yeah, thank
Yeah.
I love that. That's such a simple thing. And that's what I really want people to see is like, this stuff may seem like, why are you doing it? What are you doing? Like, why is this happening? That's why. So we want to make sure that everybody has the opportunity to do the things they want to do. If you're super independent, why should you be held back from being independent? Like, it's your own thing to do. And Patrick says it really well, actually. Maybe I'll say it wrong because that sounds about right. But basically he says, I want to make sure that everything in our homes is good enough for me, for my family. If it's not good enough for me, then it's not good enough for anybody. And I love that because it's just that mentality of like, if I would be upset that my sister was in this home and didn't have the access to do that, then we're fixing it. And that's kind of how we determine our to-do lists is like and I've said this before in podcasts, but like, this is our level of standard. And this is like the government level of standard. It's like, you are doing adequately. We're up here where we're like, no. Like, we're doing better than that. So
It needs to be better than
it
adequate.
has to be better than adequate. And that's truly like, obviously the government's standard is very low because it's the government. So it's just that mentality of like, we will do better every day, every year, every week. We're doing something to improve something. And that could be as simple as, we're changing around the format and getting a new kitchen table that people can roll up to comfortably and can seat 10 people. or it's like we are completely gutting and renovating this house. It could be one of the two. Is there anything else with the renovations that just like have rocked your world? You're like, this has just been such a beautiful change.
I'm very pleased with the renovations.
You're very pleased with them?
You're pleased
Yes.
with them? I'm glad. I bet Buck would love to know too. Their team put so much work into that. I'll tell him.
The kitchen is a lot more open than it used to be.
It's
Yeah.
it very
Yeah.
much is. I was gonna say also we forgot about the bathroom.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
there was so we have 2 bathrooms, one down each hall, and
Yeah.
it's the what we call the west side bathroom. Used to be just a tub that people would have to step up
Right.
into, and we do have some frequent fallers on occasion who do lose their balance. And so we have now a walk-in shower,
Right.
and there are bars installed. And that's also another thing that we're going to be doing with the renovations is down the hallway we're going to have a handrail system,
Added, yeah.
which we didn't have before in a way that was accessible to all. And that's actually really beneficial for a lot of the guys at the house.
Yeah.
And they're upgrading the panels on the lower half of the wall. They ordered some specialized panels that are going to be inputted, since we do have some individuals that are in wheelchairs
Right.
or have mobility issues, and so that can cause damages to the wall.
Bump friendly.
Yep.
Yeah.
So a little more friendly for that.
Steve's like,
Looks at me and smiles.
I mean, fair enough. Like, there's bumps on this wall just from chairs, like
Yes,
from
yeah.
people bumping up
Yes.
against it. So, well, that, I mean, I forgot that the bathroom was done too. That's duh. That's what now the fourth facility that has had these upgrades done.
The 4th one, yep.
Yeah, and so we have a lot left to do, quite a few. But this one, I think, to me, is actually the best one so far, personal opinion, because the before and after photos are like shocking. And we'll throw some in when we edit this. It is like night and day. It's actually like, is that the same facility? Is that the same place?
It opened it up so much.
It's such
so
a big
much.
difference.
Beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
And we got some video footage last week, but it was like stormy and rainy out, so it's kind of dark. So we might go back and redo it, to be totally honest, when it's bright out, because we had a stormy week for like 8 days in a row. But we will include some footage so that everyone can see the difference. And it truly is like night and day. It's amazing. And so that's the like huge change that just it changes your mental state. Like you live there, it changes everything for you, as simple as that sounds. So it's really worth it. Like, it truly is worth all the grant writing, which I hate, but it is part of my job. So and it works. Like, we do get money, but at the same time, it is a huge undertaking that is so worth it when we see the payoff come through. So the other thing that we did with some grants last year, we've done it 2 years in a row now with the Great Fish Community Challenge, is go for a vehicle. Our fleet, I think, is 65 vehicles, or more than 65 vehicles now. I do not envy Buck in keeping track of those vehicles, and their tires and their oil changes and all the things that go into owning a car. But last year specifically, we aimed, was it last year or 2 years ago now? It was last year. My years are blending together.
Yes.
But we got Steve a van, a very specific type of van, because the previous one, what did you call it?
Big Red.
Big Red. No more Big Red.
No more Big Red.
So it's just this this improvement. So Steve, what do you love about the new van?
It's easier to get into.
Yeah. You drive in the back now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a huge change. And then you can go all the way forward, right? So you're
Yes.
not like in the back, which we hate, because you're just so far away. Like, you don't get to be a part
Yeah.
of the car ride. Car rides are fun. I enjoy car rides.
And he has enough space with getting into
Yeah.
this one, whereas before you kind of had to maneuver and
It was like a
finagle
perfect
things
fit
to
or
try
nothing.
to get it just right. Otherwise, it wasn't
He
happening.
had to limbo actually to get, because the way that the lift was in Big Red, it was almost like Steve had to limbo to get
The right angle.
to the
have to
actual
tilt his
door.
chair.
Yeah. So
I had
this
to
one-
try to turn my chair around in a full space, and that was almost impossible.
it was
And
big
so now
mess.
it's just this easy thing.
yeah, just drives right in.
Right in,
No, the only thing, a little bit of maneuvering of the footbox. Other than
Yeah.
that, he just goes right in.
which is amazing.
Yeah.
And it's a smaller van. It's like the what do you call it? Passenger van? A minivan.
A minivan.
Minivan, not a passenger van.
Yep.
Big Red was a passenger van.
Big van was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the difference being that this one is like easier to take to the shops and go shopping and park and do
Yes.
stuff, and it's not as like hefty for you
Yep.
as well. Win-win. So this year for Great Fish, we're not doing a van again. We've changed it for what we're aiming for, but next year we're going to go for a van again. We just wanted to take a break, like give it a little rest, but it is a life-changing thing. And I know it sounds kind of silly to someone on the outside who's just like, what do you mean? It's just a van. You already had a van. Why do you need a new van? There's a big difference between a gigantic 15-passenger van that Steve has to limbo into versus a small minivan that he can drive straight into. It is a huge difference. And so it is, again, a small change that is life-changing for your day-to-day, week-to-week life. And that's why we do it. That's the whole point.
Well, and in the minivan too, didn't you say that you feel more secure? Because
Yeah, I do.
in Big Red, it was a common issue that Steve was a little fearful
Really?
when he would go for rides of tipping.
Right, because it's
Because,
wider.
It's wider and
Yeah.
it's taller.
The sharks and big numbers of man, I could stand to sit.
That makes sense, actually. It's a little more like secure and
Yeah.
tight, like a tighter fit in the little one.
I wish you could have been there when I went to Spokane. Jake was driving like crazy.
Oh, Steve.
The Dakota was trying to keep up with them, and we felt like we were in New York City.
In New York City.
Well, just turning corners in Big Red, I
Yeah,
remember was Steve. You would see Steve kind of
Just kinda jump.
jostle
Yeah.
around, and it was. I mean, it's not like we took the corner sharp. You know, we took
I
our
mean,
time because it was Big Red.
Yeah,
but
big van, yeah.
He still wasn't very
The
comfortable.
sharks were like a piece of crap.
They were definitely not pleasant. You're right. Yeah, but it did really good burnout sometimes, right?
Yeah, thank
He
you.
told me, he said he wanted to do Brody's in the parking lot. We never did it, but he said he'd try it.
The official statement is that we never did
We
it.
never did it. Promise. Scout's honor.
Officially never happened. I don't know if it did or not, but now it's a fun story.
It is, yeah.
Is there anything else that you want to add that's like has been super helpful, or any other wish list items? Like, I'm working hard all the time we have a very long list from Buck of projects that he has, and so I'm always working down the list of what we can get money for.
We have the other bathroom on the wish
Right,
list.
the
Yes.
east
Yes.
side
Yes.
one. Okay.
Because it currently has the walk-in tub and it's
Yeah.
not as accessible as
It's
it
not that
should be.
safe,
right.
Yeah.
For Steve, especially, right? Takes a couple people to get you in there with the Hoyer lift.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so that's on my list.
Yeah.
Buck has a whole sheet of like a smart sheet that I have access to that I have to like start finding money for. So it's a long one.
We did forget about the vanity in the back hall too.
Oh, yeah.
It was lowered, so it used to be it was a vanity, but it
Right.
was higher up, and Steve goes back there and brushes his teeth.
Right.
But with the new vanity, they lowered it down to where Steve doesn't have to. He can be more independent. He's not. He doesn't have to ask us, "Hey, can you get into that cupboard and grab my toothpaste and whatnot?"
Right.
It's accessible
He
where
can
Steve can
reach,
actually
yeah.
grab all of his stuff, and he can reach the sink and turn it on and things like
That's
that. where
awesome.
He wasn't able to do that before.
I think so. In closing, for everyone, I would love to challenge you as a listener, as a watcher. Everyone has different levels of ability. Like, everyone in this room has different levels of ability. And so something to challenge yourself with is to just think about that. Like, what if you had a vanity to brush your teeth at, but you couldn't reach any of the things you needed? You know, how would you do that? You would have to have someone with you all the time to help, which Steve does. But at the same time, like, having that independence to be able to brush your own teeth is something that is so small in our minds that we never think about because it's just a natural thing we do every morning and it's just a go-to thing. But for Steve, that's a huge win, right? To be able
Yes,
to
it
do
is.
that. Do you like having that independence, Steve?
Yes, I do.
Love it. So I want to challenge you, and I think I've done this before, and I love doing this with people. Take a minute, find a friend, husband, sister, brother, whoever, it doesn't matter. Pick somebody and sit down with them and say, write down all the instructions for me, word for word, on how to do a simple task. You pick. Brushing your teeth is a good one. Making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich is a really good one, because it seems like such a simple thing to be like, I don't know what I want to have for lunch. I'm just going to make a simple PB&J, no big deal, right? Write all the instructions down and then follow them exactly. Like, do not input any little middle steps and just wait to see how bad you do. Like, the number of things that are so inherent to us as people who are like, a sandwich is so easy to make. It isn't for some people. And so having that knowledge base of like how difficult it can be to do a really simple task will help you to put yourself in the shoes of the people that we work with and serve, and just understand why it's so important for people like Alicia and Crystal to come alongside all of our homes, all of our consumers, everyone who lives in our different homes, and just be there for them to help them through those little things. But then also understand why the expense of changing out a vanity is worth every penny, because now Steve can do what he wants to do without having Alicia come get his toothbrush, turn on the water, put the toothpaste on, and then help him put it all back. He can reach it all on his own. And so I just want to challenge people. I think that's the most fun challenge in the world, because it truly will open your eyes so much to what it is like on a day-to-day basis. And you know, everyone's abilities are different, and so some of our consumers have the ability to make a sandwich while others don't. So it is different, and it's not a like one size fits all, but it is a really great way to just open your eyes to the other side of the world, like understanding and having that empathy for how people live, if that makes any sense. Do you have anything to add to that?
No, I think you did great.
Okay, cool. Thank you. It's just that mentality. It is something that is hard to comprehend until you put your feet in those shoes and walk a mile, to be totally honest. Anything else you want to add, Alicia?
No, I think
Cool.
we're good.
Anything, Steve?
No, I'm good, thanks.
Okay, that's it. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for coming. I really hope that this helps the public just understand a little bit more about what we do, all the work that goes into the projects, all the work that goes into the day-to-day of just life, and enjoying life, and, you know, going to Spokane and having a fun time, which frankly does happen quite frequently. Like, there are a lot of trips. There's a lot of like, we're going to go to the casino, or we're going to go to the mountain, or we're going to go see a movie, or we're going to go see a live show or music. It happens all the time. So the ability for people to get in a van and drive to the fairgrounds and watch a live music show, again, think about how hard that is for someone that isn't just fully able-bodied, where you're like, I'm just going to jump in the car. Mm-hmm. It is not the simplest thing in the world. So just keep that in mind, I think, and help you understand why we raise money all the time, why we have these thrift stores that everyone is like, you're just a thrift store. No, we're not. This is what we are. The thrift stores help to fund this mission. So just that clarity and helping to understand. If you have questions, or you have something else that you're like, I want to know more, like, explain to me what you mean by this, shoot us an email, marketing@flatheadindustries.org, or you can comment on this video. You can comment on our Instagram or Facebook. We'll see all of it. Obviously, we see all the notifications. We'd love to answer it. And frankly, if it's a big enough question, we'll just do another podcast, to be honest. And we'll answer the questions live, because I think it's easier to hear someone talk about it than to read a comment response. So thank you for watching. Thank you for your support. Come shop our stores, donate your stuff. Donate, you know, at the end of the year, we have a big fundraising campaign where we raise a lot of money at the end of the year for tax season, to be totally honest. But it helps. Like, every dollar helps, every penny helps. It truly is going to something that means a lot to a lot of people. And we're a small valley, and we're a small nonprofit in a small valley. And so the more you help, the more we can help. Okay? Thank you. Goodbye.